So I have this habit, I'm not sure if it's a good habit or a bad habit, of helping the people who work with me, work for me, contractors, coaches, people with expertise, that are on my team. I have this habit of having them learn to raise their prices, to expand their business, to expand their skills. I attract those kinds of people into my world. I often have anybody who's working with me, I often have them raise their rates, which often costs me money, but because they're so talented and they're so good at what they do, I watch them grow, and often I watch them grow the skill set out of what it is I need them to do, and let them go and flourish someplace else. And I always have to go find someone new to do that. And this morning, I was having a conversation with one of those people in my world, and we were marveling at how his business has transformed since we've been working together. Now, he's not a coaching client, so I don't take any credit for what's happening in his business. But I just was noticing he is learning so many new skills, and all these skills, which are really actually moving him towards his zone of genius. What he does really well isn't his zone of genius. In fact, it's the opposite of his zone of genius, but he just happened to get so good at it that he was able to make a living at it. Now, as he moves to that zone of genius, I'm missing those skills that he was doing earlier, but his business is exploding. It's doing so well. So I was just joking, and we were typing back and forth on Slack. I hate Slack, but we were typing back and forth on Slack, and he was marveling at what he does with his business. And I said, "Yeah," and I was being tongue in cheek, and I said, "Grit, but plus talent, plus constantly learning, plus serendipity equals whatever it is you've built in this business, right? Grit plus talent, plus constantly learning, plus serendipity." And I was doing a play on Angela Duckworth's grit formula, which we'll talk about in a minute. I was just trying to think of everything that goes into building a business, everything that goes into growing and changing and shifting what people expected from you to something entirely new. Uh, and it was really cool, really clear that his grit, his stick-to-itiveness, his moving from one career to another and building this business every day in and day out, was apparent. It's really inspiring to watch someone really roll up their sleeves to take care of their family and go into business for themselves. And more of us are going to have to do that with what's going on with the economy. And then his talent, he has, he had talent in one area, but he had a real gift in another, and he started learning more about that zone of genius and how he can help people with that zone of genius. The constantly learning, he's constantly sending me stuff. "Oh, I took this course and I took this course, and you should really learn about this, and this will really help your business." So he kept helping me in areas that I didn't hire him for, and it turned out it actually has shifted our relationship. And then the serendipity part, I had to throw in because he's made some connections that seem like they're out of the blue. They seem really kind of crazy, and these connections led to business, which led to more business, which led to more business. And that's kind of the way my life works, is the serendipity of the relationships that I build. Now, the serendipity seems like it's by chance, but it's not. You increase your serendipity by being of service to other people. He brings so much value to everybody that he meets that they always remember him. So when it's time for someone to make a recommendation, they send him there, right? So serendipity is, something going on with the universe, right? But you can increase your serendipity by making yourself invaluable to everybody in your world. My business is 100% referral. Everybody, I have not gotten one client, I think, from my podcast talking to you. All of my uh, clients have come from other people who I have served and made stark raving fans of Mark Silverman, so that they recommend me. "You have to go talk to Mark. Oh, you just got promoted to vice president. You've never really had a team this large. You really need to speak to Mark about your leadership skills. Oh, you're a middle-aged man who's going through some kind of crisis. You really should talk to Mark," right? So people really know to talk to me. So I've created that serendipity where I get calls out of the blue and saying, "So and so said that I should talk to you." Same thing with this guy. So now let's go where this all came from. Where this all came from was my playing with Angela Duckworth's Grit. Really, really good book. So the Grit formula is talent times effort equals skill. Talent times effort equals skill. That's only half of the formula. The other half of the formula is skill times effort equals achievement or results. Skill times effort equals achievement or results. So what you notice about the equation: talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals achievement or results. Effort is in there twice. that effort, that getting out of your comfort zone, that getting out of the box is needed in all these areas. So you have a talent, you have something that you're interested in, you have something that you're good at. Now, you've all known people who have had a talent and have been eclipsed by people who work harder than them. So you have a talent and you develop that talent. You put effort into that talent. You think Kobe Bryant, who had two coaches, worked tirelessly to get better and better and better. Michael Jordan constantly trying to get better and better and better on the basketball analogies today. The effort to increase the skill, increase the skill, increase the skill. Now you take that skill and now you add that effort to it. If you're listening to me on this podcast, that means I got the skill, which means after work, I read books, I went to workshops, I learned all kinds of things. I did my own work, right? The skill, I learned podcasting, I learned how to be engaging on a microphone. Hopefully, there's enough of you listening that I must be engaging enough, right? But the effort now. I don't naturally want to be the center of attention. I'm not just dying to be seen. It takes effort for me to turn on this microphone, to record myself, to record the video, and press send to the producers to put this out in the world for you people to judge, right? So that effort, that's so nice that I have the skill. I've done so much work. I've read thousands of books. I've gone to thousands of hours of workshops. I have done so much work. But if I don't take the effort to get out of my comfort zone and actually put it in the microphone or put it on the page in a book, then that effort doesn't turn into a result, doesn't turn into clients, doesn't turn into something that I can give the world. So you get it? Talent times effort equals skill. Skill times effort equals achievement. And then we add serendipity to the whole thing. And we can increase the serendipity by being of service to as many people as we can possibly be so that we become invaluable in the world. As Steve Martin once said, be so good that they can't ignore you. Hopefully this is helpful. As the economy is changing, as everything is changing these days, more and more of us are going to be in business for ourselves. More and more of us are going to be competing for jobs and trying to figure out how to make a living. Or maybe we have a good job, but we want to do something that's more in line with us, and it's scary. How do we do that? And that's where we get our grit. So I'll put in the show notes, I'll put a link to Tammy Duckworth, the senator, Angela Duckworth's book Grit, so you can find that. Tons of summaries and TED Talks and all kinds of stuff on that. I just hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're drinking water. Hope you're eating right. Hoping you're loving the people in your life. And I love you a ton. I thank you for your time and attention. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.